I feel like painting, it's a life force really, like it's so connected to our being, and it kind of allows me to translate those elements of being, like energy and these intangible phenomena. I'm Betsy Bradley and I'm an artist, a painter, I suppose. I work in painting in a very expanded sense. I'm based in the Midlands and I've got a studio at home. For the last couple of years I've moved away from anything kind of traditional like canvas or paintbrushes. I don't really paint with paintbrushes anymore, and I work on quite translucent grounds, so fabrics like muslin or voile or like organza type material, and dust sheet as well. And that came around kind of coincidentally really, just playing around with the way paint interacts with different surfaces and wanting to kind of suspend painted gesture in space. And I think these translucent materials, they're kind of a step in that direction. They achieve that in some way. And I make lots of my own painting tools from found materials, kind of bits of wood I've got lying around. And just really because I like to kind of surprise myself in the painting process and use an object to paint with that I don't know what it will do to the paint or what will happen, but it's always kind of a discovery, each painting, and it's just a very playful process. It moves between outbursts, quite intense outbursts of productivity in the painting. So I'll make lots of paintings at once and lots of work, and then there'll be more quiet moments of reflection or drawing back inwards and kind of contemplating and being quite still, because when I am making work it expels a lot of energy, and I kind of only work when the energy's right, so I don't really force it if it's not there. So it's just a very natural process, kind of in tune with my own body and mind. I'm inspired by everyday things really, just life in general, things that are quite ordinary but at the same time I find quite magical, like the play of light and reflections, things that don't really intend to be there but they are, and they kind of give you a moment outside of your ordinary thought which helps you let go. So like my front door reflects rainbows onto the carpet through the glass which I don't think it was designed to do, but when I look at that it's just like a little bit of magic, but at the same time it's just very ordinary. It doesn't feel like it's really personal, emotional work, really. It's me kind of affecting the materials. Like I feel with the paintings, it's the credit goes to the paint because I'm just kind of moving it. I'm like the wind, maybe blowing it around and affecting it, but it's the way it's behaving is creating kind of something exciting that I never intended, and there's something really exciting about that. I don't feel like I can take credit because there's so many things involved in making work, and other people, and there's the people that have made the paint, the people that have produced the fabrics, and kind of the history of the materials, where they've come from, and we're all so connected. Yeah, I suppose it's always quite an exhilarating experience because I don't know what's going to happen. And that is the point of it, so I kind of have to embrace that and the element of risk that comes with that approach. And then when I'm doing it, it's just that moment before the paint hits the surface or the tool I'm using to paint with kind of affects the paint. I just try to just let it happen, and I think that's the really freeing element of the process, like because I'm just in my body and in the movement, I'm not really thinking, and it's a way of transcending thought and just really being in the moment. It's a back and forth, like between the painting and myself in a way. So I'll do something to the painting and then it's almost like the painting's telling me a hint of maybe what's going to happen next, or don't do any more to me now, or if it feels too easily finished, then I'll just do something to upset that and don't know what's going to happen or if it's going to ruin it, but that's all part of the fun. I've been practicing meditation for I think maybe 8 years now. Through learning meditation, I found such a transformation in my own well-being, really. Like, it's so, and I kind of first and foremost practice meditation to just be a more relaxed, happy person, which really is the function of it. I just found it really helped me to let go and kind of have more confidence in what I wanted to do without kind of overthinking things, and which I think indirectly has affected the way I make work. The sculptural works are quite a recent thing. They just came from a fascination with what painting can do in a more fluid form structurally. So using the painted ground, like the material or the canvas, in a loose form. So I kind of consider the sculptures just as much painting as well, kind of an extension of painting. And it's like the materials themselves take on the fluidity of paint and painterly gesture. I think for me it's a really playful way of working. I see the sculptures as kind of quite temporary arrangements, I suppose, of objects and material, and I feel like they're not fixed, like they could keep evolving. And it's just me playing around really with quite natural interactions between different elements. So not kind of interfering too much and allowing the materials to kind of respond to each other in a space themselves. It's kind of them doing the work. So the exhibition is called Chasing Rainbows, which is a title which could be taken in many ways. I think I wanted to keep it really open and accessible, so it could be taken as very light-hearted and whimsical, but also have a kind of philosophical level to it as well. So kind of the impermanence and transience of rainbows and the way we appreciate them kind of in their impermanence, and there's something really kind of playful and beautiful about that. And the show will be quite an immersive experience. So paintings on the walls, sculptures suspended from the ceiling, works that interact with the architecture of the space, and works on the floor. The whole range of painting in a very fluid form. It's the first opportunity I've had to work on such a scale, a space of so much potential. I definitely wanted to interact directly with the space because Ikon Gallery has such beautiful features of it and within the architecture, and a part of my work is how it kind of adapts to the space it's in. So I definitely wanted to acknowledge parts of the architecture by suspending sculptures from the beams and replacing a wall that normally exists in the gallery with a kind of giant partition painting. The gallery is split into 3 spaces, and being able to create a kind of journey through those, and in the middle space having a more kind of quiet, enclosed, immersive experience using the floor and the ceiling, and explore the immersive potential of my work and bring together the sculptural elements with the paintings. And it's the perfect space to do it in. So.